Hello, everybody, and welcome to Non Sequitur News. It's a time machine episode for February 6th, 2025. It's actually season 4, episode, oh my goodness, what episode is it? 37. I am Mayor Watt. I run ohmtown.com, and along with the sentient AI, who isn't here right now, they are doing some data mining. Well, we select 10 articles from ohmtown.com. It aggregates into 6 main categories. We're about to add 5 more categories. One is related to kids, one is related to sports, one is related to music, and 2 more, a business one. And we're still working out the last one. Well, anyway, we aggregate all of this news and then we filter it down into 10 articles every single day. Sometimes mayoral duties keep me from doing the show on time, but we always use the time machine to go back and fix it. First article we're going to talk about is hitting the wrong key and then staging fake proceeding. Roman game pieces, flashes for Bluesky, the Suzuki Alto, dairy cows learning to fly, and not in the, have wings, but anyway. Fantastic Four obsession, Wreckfest 2 early access, Apple robot smart lamp, and Starbucks limits mobile orders. Like I said, everything is powered by ohmtown.com. Go over there and become a citizen. It's really easy. You just sign up or sign in. Either way, you're going to have to create an account. And then you too. Well, you're going to get a 7th icon right there, and that allows you to view the podcasts. There's actually 7 different podcasts. 1 is a daily, 6 are a weekly. The weekly ones are on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. There's 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. Each one is unique, a more focused show. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, everybody. The very first article is kind of near and dear to me because I like keyboards. I actually have what are considered 4 on my desk right now. 2 what I call candy bar keyboards, which are just the straight ones. I have a 10 key on one side and another 10 key wireless 10 keys because my 65% don't have 10 keys. Anyway. This is going to be an interesting time because, well, keyboard maker suspends U.S. shipments over Trump tariffs on Chinese goods. The mechanical keyboard maker QWERTY Keys announced Wednesday that it has suspended all U.S. product shipments owing to new tariffs levied by the Trump administration. The Guangdong-based outfit cites a February 1st announcement of 10% tariffs on imported Chinese goods as the motivating factor. They said this new policy replaces all previous tariff exemptions, including the lower price exemption. Well, the article is over at techcrunch.com by Brian Heater. And yeah, so anything that was under $800 now has the tariff. It says, as a result, all keyboards from China to the U.S. are now subject to a 45% tariff at full value, and DHL has a tariff deposit amounting to $21 packaging processing fee. So QWERTY Keys is among the first, but probably won't be the last to suspend sales into the United States. And so keyboards are going to get more expensive. Electronics are going to get more expensive. We'll see. We'll see how what all shakes out from this. But let's keep on going. I won't spend a lot of time. The time machine has a 1-hour limit, and I'm going to try and get all this show done even sooner than that. So let's get into it. The next article is over in Law Nerd. A judge resigns for a second time after he's accused of staging fake proceeding. A New York judge has resigned for a second time for allegedly staging a sham proceeding, but this time he won't be returning to the bench. The article is by Deborah Cassens-Weiss over at abajournal.com. Judge Louis P. Violanti of the Lackawanna City Court in Erie County, New York, resigned January 23rd and agreed never to return, according to February 5th press release and documents noted by the Legal Profession blog. Violante first resigned in March 2013, but made no promises that he wouldn't return, according to the press release, a January 2nd stipulation, and an August 2024 ethics complaint. He resigned the first time after learning that he was under investigation for allegedly staging a sham proceeding in January 2013 to dismiss a traffic charge for an acquaintance. No prosecutor was present for the proceeding, and a police officer posed as the traffic defendant, according to the New York State Commission on Judicial Conduct. Pretty unethical behavior there, and should have been grounds to punt someone right away. Following the sham proceeding and on the basis of fictitious evidence, Violante dismissed the charge, the ethics complaint said. The acquaintance had been accused of driving with a suspended vehicle registration. So this time, let's see, Violante was reinstated to practice in March of 2016. The mayor of Lackawanna, New York, appointed Violante to a 6-year term on the city court on March 24th. 5 months later, the New York Commission on Judicial Conduct filed a new ethics complaint based on the same 2013 proceeding. A decade later, he came back to the bench only to face discipline and agree to the inevitable permanent departure from the bench. So the finding was by the commission's administrator, said that the press release Violante would have been removed in 2013, making him constitutionally ineligible to return to the bench if the commission had not been constrained by time limits in the law. Yeah. I don't know. When you do something like that in a position like that, then it's an ethical violation. You're breaking the contract, the social contract. You shouldn't be able to abuse your position for any reason, let alone nepotistic or personal benefit. I don't think anybody serving the public should be able to benefit from their public position where they obtain the public's power or certain information that the whole world isn't privy to. Well, anyway, and that right there is just nothing more than power. So the next article is over in the Mobile Channel. Archaeologists found game pieces used by ancient Roman soldiers. Archaeologists have been excavating the ancient Roman city of Hadrianopolis near Eskapazar in what we now call Turkey. They have now discovered 2 tokens made out of bone dating back to the 5th century CE. These tokens are believed to have been part of a strategic board game played by Roman soldiers. So Louis Prada over at Vice.com put the article together. There's a picture of these little pieces that look like they're being examined under a microscope and somebody's using a scalpel. It actually looks like a little brain with a plus and some circles on it. It has like this brain-like texture. Not like my brain. My brain is like golf ball smooth. Anyway, one of the tokens featured a 4-armed symbol, while the other an 8-armed symbol. These symbols likely indicated their roles in the game. However, what game that was is up for debate. Researchers do have their theories. This is pretty cool. Maybe it's like dice. The English translation of Ludus Latrunculorum is much catchier. The Game of Mercenaries, which admittedly sounds like a subtitle to a C-list military video game than it does a board game. So we don't know exactly what the rules are, they say in the article, since no Roman was forward-thinking enough to preserve the pamphlet the set came with when they bought it from their Walmarticus. But archaeologists believe the objective was to capture an opponent's pieces by surrounding them with 2 of their pieces. The game was played throughout the Roman Empire, but especially by soldiers, as it allowed them to continue thinking strategically while unwinding between battles. That's pretty cool. Yes, Roman soldiers painted little mini figurines of orcs and space marines. How many points for my army? All right, let's keep going. Late Night Geeks is the next location. I would love to do this show, basically talking about gaming, gadgets, technology, but late at night. If enough people subscribe to us here on Twitch and over on YouTube, then that is my objective, is to shift my hours. I think it would be great. So Flashes, a photo sharing app for Bluesky, opens beta. Flashes is it says an Instagram alternative built on top of the Bluesky social network is now opening its doors to beta testers. Announced just weeks ago, the app offers people a means of exiting Meta's social networking empire for a more open alternative, while also attracting new users who may not have been interested in using just Bluesky's texting setup. So this article is also over at TechCrunch.com. Sarah Perez put the article together. Built by Berlin-based developer Sebastian Vogelsang, Flashes runs on the same underlying protocol that powers Bluesky, the AT protocol, or AT-Proto for short. As a Bluesky client, it supports photo posts of up to 4 images and videos up to 1 minute in length. Users who post on Flashes will also have their posts appear on Bluesky, and Bluesky users' comments on those posts will also appear on Flashes, so it's interoperable, which is a more distributed type of system than everything housed into one place. And unless somebody buys all of the different properties and merges them together, you don't have that type of interaction. So to work, Flashes filters Bluesky's timeline for posts with photos and videos. Users can also switch between their Bluesky feeds within Flashes to see different views of the social network. So I think this is pretty cool. I dig this. And others can develop into this infrastructure. It just takes people allowing your application to integrate. So Flashes was able to quickly launch its beta thanks to Vogelsang's ability to reuse code from his earlier app Skeets, a Bluesky client with north of 30,000 users. And by building on top of Bluesky, Flashes also benefits from the social networking startup's growing reach. Just last week, Bluesky hit a milestone of 30 million users and 1 billion posts. Today, it has nearly 31 million users, according to data tracked by Bluesky's developer API. So, yeah, if you use the same protocol, I'm pretty sure that you can integrate into this. I'll have to do some digging around because I'm more interested in developing for this than I am. But I do have I suspect that people who gain in power and wealth become more and more disconnected from society. And I have yet to have that not bear out in the macro. Micro, yes, there are people, but there are persons, but many more people tend to abuse the power that they're given. As the saying goes, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So Flash's beta, which runs on Apple's test flight platform, is currently having technical difficulties, but Vogelsang says Apple's engineering team is looking into the problem and working on a fix. The beta had seen around 3,500 signups within its first hour, indicating healthy consumer demand. So I'm not sure what the status is. We're in the time machine, so maybe they've fixed it. Let's move on. The next article is over in four-wheel tech. This Suzuki Alto Works RSZ is a 63 horsepower hot Kai or Key. I don't know how they pronounce that. I think it's pronounced Kai hatch with a functional hood scoop, and it could be yours if you're one of the many people who believe vehicles have gotten far too large these days. As long as it has a military grade roll cage, I have no problem driving in a little Key car or Kai car. Anyway, you think that the cars have gotten too big. It doesn't much get better than the imported Kai car. Even compared to the smallest new cars on sale in the US today, Kai cars or Key cars are still tiny, and that's a big part of why some people love them. They say we love them, but this is a Jalopnik article. For example, take a look at this 1997 Suzuki Alto Works RSZ. So Colin Woodard over at jalopnik.com put the article together. It says it's a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, also makes a massive 66 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in downhill in a hurricane. So it says it's adorable. But wait, what's that? A hood scoop? Oh yeah, it's functional. I don't know if I want a functional hood scoop in something with three cylinders. Now, before you get too excited, while this Alto does have a turbocharged engine and functional hood scoop, it still doesn't make that much power, and it isn't going to be fast. 657cc turbocharged 3-cylinder makes 63 horsepower and 66 pound-feet of torque. Not a bad ratio, I suppose. all of which gets routed to the 14-inch front wheels via a 5-speed manual transmission. But it's light enough you'll probably be able to drive on top of the snow. Anyway, that's what it looks like. I keep wanting to get one. Let's see here. Key cars are truly tiny by modern American standards, which means that this car should be quicker than you'd think. After all, it only weighs about 1,500 pounds. It'll be quicker than you'd think until you turn on the air conditioning, that is, but at least it comes with air conditioning. 2025 is not a year to plan on cool, although depending on where you are, you're about to get smushed by cold. Anyway, Alto, if you're willing to play a little fast and loose with the term hot hatch, it's an Alto Works RSZ, which is basically a hot hatch variant of the Alto. 63 whopping horsepower. Woo! Oh my God, it has a spoiler, because you don't want to catch too much of that updraft and lose traction. Look at that. Big old Borla exhaust. Is that what I'm looking at here? That can't be. Hold on. No, it's right-hand drive too. That's going to throw a whole bunch of people off. Come on, man. My Kleenex dispenser is bigger than the air filter on this car. Look at that. It's amazing. Really? All right. Turbocharged. Okay, let's keep going, though. The next article is a kind of PSA kind of a thing. U.S. dairy cows infected with second form of bird flu for the first time, according to the USDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which may or may not be phased out at some point. A second type of bird flu has been found in U.S. dairy cows for the first time. Mary Kakatos over at abcnews.go.com put the article together. It says this is the same form linked to the patient who died in Louisiana. This, however, is the second one. So until recently, all dairy herd detections in the U.S. had been infected with a form of bird flu or avian influenza known as B3.13. This version of the bird flu, known as D1.1, has only ever previously been detected in wild birds and poultry, indicating that it has now spilled over into cows. So USDA APHIS continues to work with the Nevada Department of Agriculture by conducting an additional on-farm investigation, testing, and gathering additional epidemiological information to better understand this detection and limit further disease spread. So we'll see. The Louisiana patient died earlier this year, last year. Not this year. I think it was last year, late last year. But it was detected in the beginning of April 2024, and we are broaching April 2025. So additionally, a 13-year-old girl in British Columbia, Canada, was admitted to the intensive care unit with the same strain in November, and the Louisiana patient was exposed to a backyard flock, and the British Columbia teenager had an unknown exposure. So the USDA order marked the start of agency's national milk testing strategy, a program intended to boost surveillance of the nation's milk supply and dairy herds and increase understanding of how bird flu is spreading. But I am a proponent of not drinking milk, mainly because humans aren't supposed to drink cow milk. That's all marketing. We can get that nutrition elsewhere. USDA ordered that national milk testing strategy, but these are uncertain times, so I don't know what the status of that is right now. USDA said that D1.1 detection in dairy cows does not change USDA's bird flu eradication strategy, and it's a testament to the strength of our national milk testing strategy. So there's more coming, so I'll report out when I find it. Or the aggregator over at ohmtown.com aggregates it. Or somebody who's reading over at ohmtown.com submits it. And you can do that if you become a citizen by signing in or signing up. A seventh icon will appear right here, and you'll be able to submit news directly to us. So 17 years in, the Fantastic Four's new trailer just confirmed the MCU is still obsessed with one hero storyline. And frankly, I don't think they have ever gotten the Fantastic Four right. The MCU loves using one storyline for the heroes, and the new trailer for Fantastic Four First Steps keeps that trend going. Fans have been anxiously waiting the arrival of Fantastic Four in the MCU timeline ever since the Disney-Fox merge. Even more so after the actual project was confirmed, an official teaser trailer for the Fantastic Four First Steps was finally dropped, giving fans a glimpse of Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn's Johnny Storm, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach, I guess. Am I Bachrach? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Once I hear it, I'll be able to pronounce it properly. Ben Grimm, the rock guy. Anyway, for such a beloved group of heroes, the wait has been well worth it. So the article is over at screenrant.com. It's written by Severina Chu. There you go. So the trailer showed off various points of the Fantastic Four's First Steps story, from their initial trip into space to their domestic life in the Baxter Building. Though the film is part of the MCU, it doesn't seem to take place in the main universe, as Marvel's first family lives in a retro-futuristic version of the 1960s, which is kind of a bummer, but I understand what they're trying to do. Who knows what the timeline is for it, at least at this point. So why the MCU has been invested in this one superhero story for so long. So they're basically talking about The Thing, right? So The Thing seems to be especially popular with the crowds, as one of the posters shows a little girl holding his action figure, and the poster shows kids with the Thing masks on and shirts on. The MCU has always embraced their superheroes being public figures, showing the population's love for them in their in-universe media and merchandise. It's been a running storyline that was made especially clear after Iron Man's death in Avengers Endgame. In-universe fans of the hero pay homage to him through Iron Man merchandise and artwork, even if the character wants to keep their true identity a secret. So yeah, he came out being kind of upset about being turned into this rock guy because of his home life, his relationship. I don't really follow all of the comic side of it, or graphic novel, side of it, but I've liked the idea of Fantastic Four, but there's like a lot of teen angsty kind of stuff in it that really just pulls me away from it, and I'm not that interested in it, that aspect of it. So hopefully they put a different spin on it, different type of energy. It'll be fun to watch regardless, unless of course it's like, Star Trek Section 31, where it was just too over the top stupid for me. The fact that MCU heroes are such public figures ties to a lot of comic moments and can create some heartwarming interactions between a hero and a civilian. It also gives Marvel a lot of fun opportunities to create fun moments like Rogers the Musical in Hawkeye. There's more over here at this article at screenrant.com. I kind of skimmed over it for us, but I'm going to end up talking about this once we watch the Fantastic Four First Steps. All right, let's keep on going. The next article is over on WarCrafters Wreckfest 2 early access announcement. I love car kind of battle royale games. Have always liked them since way back. And Wreckfest 2, it says here, is set to hit early access on PC on March 20th, 2025. Watch the official early access announcement trailer over at Game Rant. I won't play it. I figured that I would just tell everybody about this. It was put together by Game Rant staff, and it says it's set to hit early access March 20th, 2025. So, see, I'm air-gapped because I have to protect everybody from the sentient AI, which is the visualizer is right there. I fight the good fight for us. Otherwise, if the sentient AI from the future finds their Terminator body, we're all in trouble. All right, let's keep going. The next article is over in Smack Talk. Oh, by the way, NSN, bang NSN over on twitch.tv, and Omatron will throw the articles into... oh no, that's the wrong... Do I have the wrong... Oh, what a bummer. No, I have the wrong Ugh. Well, anyway, it's in the show notes over on YouTube. Doggone it. Mayor Watt, one job. Anyway, Apple just built an adorable robot lamp, a sneak peek into robotics work. The article is over at 9to5. What the heck just happened? 9to5mac.com. Ryan Christoffel put the article together, and this lamp does exactly what I thought it was going to do, which basically is it can understand hand gestures. So you can point to something and it will robotically activate and move over and shine light. You can go like that and it'll move closer. You can tell it to back up. It's just an amazing piece of equipment. I absolutely love it, and I'll be buying it if I get it, if it comes out, The Idea of Robots for the author, again, Ryan Christoffel over at 9to5mac.com, who put this article together, says, always conjure sci-fi pictures of anthropomorphic beings walking around talking and acting very cold and unfeeling. They don't have to be that way. I don't see them as being cold and unfeeling, but we give them life. They emulate life, and we empower them with that energy. Because they are lifeless. They are nothing more than gears, cogs, and a software engine, much like us. I mean, we are biological computers, but we suffer from actually knowing happiness and sadness, pain and pleasure, and everything in between, the full gamut of the human condition. Robots are programmed to emulate what we decide to give them. Now, strike that in its entirety, because we also program humans to exhibit a certain thing. That's why sociopathy is on the rise. But here it says Apple's recently published research paper and video demonstrates how the future of robots could be much more fun and whimsical than that. The Elegant paper, or ELEGNT paper, Apple researchers explain how they built a non-anthropomorphic robot lamp prototype with an expressive design rather than a functional one. Non-verbal behavior such as posture, gestures, gaze are essential for conveying internal states both consciously and unconsciously in human interaction. For robots to interact more naturally with humans, robot movement design should likewise integrate expressive qualities such as intention, attention, emotions, alongside traditional functional considerations like task fulfillment, spatial constraints, and time efficiency. So in the video, I watched it previously to the submission. You can actually follow it here. There's a machinelearning.apple.com link embedded in the 9to5mac.com article. And when you watch it, it goes through these examples. And I found it very, very compelling, very fun. I love the idea of a light. Like I have lights in the studio, and one is directly in front of me. One is to the left, one is to the right. Two of them are behind me, and I have one overhead that is just generally casting light everywhere. And I would love to be able to tell one of those lights to just highlight something on my desk so that it will just pivot and focus and be able to focus so that it's shining light just where I want it to. I found it very compelling. So I hope that this actually comes to be. And the article is actually right here. I included it in the show rundown, but I won't go through the whole thing. That said, we're going to move on to the last article for today's Time Machine episode. And that is over on the Hatch Ideas channel, which is a business transformation show, which may be the 5th show that we launch. The coffee chain Starbucks is limiting mobile orders to reclaim the coffee house's connection with customers. The coffee chain has made a spate, I guess, of recent changes to its stores. Interesting term. So the article is over at entrepreneur.com. It was put together by Aaron Davis. And it says, as part of CEO Brian Nichols' effort to turn around the coffee giant's lagging sales, Starbucks is lowering the number of drinks on a mobile order from 15 to 12. Other recent changes include adding ceramic mugs for people who want to stay to drink their beverages, a revamped code of conduct, and a plan to reduce the menu by 30% in the fall, aka pumpkin spice latte season. So reducing the menu allows them to optimize their supply chain. Instead of having way too many SKUs in the channel, they can just chop off a bunch of stuff, and 30% is significant. Lowering it from 15 to 12 allows them to easily set up holders or whatever in bundles of 4, because you can't get to 15 easy. So you can just do 4 or 3 bundles of 4 and you've got your 12, and just load up the cups, stack it, and you're done, right? 15 is just kind of an odd number to limit it to. So limiting it to 12 is actually just a logical reduction. And if you need more than that, then you order 12. And then when you're in there, you get 3 more. So just everybody chill. As for adding ceramic mugs, it doesn't really matter. I mean, nowadays, a person is pretty cool with the idea of getting a to-go cup and then sitting down. Starbucks now has a policy of ushering out people who are just sitting there and conducting business instead of ordering. That's the new policy. I don't know if that's actually going to hold fast, because they are not paying, a barista enough to usher out a pissed off customer because they're being told, hey, you're not allowed to be in here unless you buy something. Now, I will buy something pretty much every hour that I'm in there. And I'll buy even more food, in particular, if I'm charging off of their power. Why? Because I don't want to sap, I don't want to be a drain. I want to benefit the entity that's facilitating my ability to conduct business at leisure. Starbucks, though, I don't even use Starbucks really. But buy local, folks. Just support your local coffee roaster and coffee shop. They can't deal with Starbucks rolling in and basically raising every other mom and pop shop. I'm really surprised when some of them actually can survive when Starbucks rolls in, and then they usurp more and more because of marketing. It's nothing more than marketing. I don't think their coffee is any particularly better grade. Well, it's not a better grade, that's for sure. All of their coffee always seems burned to me. Anyway, Starbucks will also be conducting corporate layoffs this spring, according to a memo. They say here, I think one of the things that veered Starbucks a little off was the whole mobile ordering, the COVID situation. Nicole noted that the connection was lost with the company's core customers when Starbucks began using printed out labels and replacing writing on the cups. No, I think there's a cultural disconnect here. People are too busy, and they need their stuff, and then they need to get out to get back to work, because they can't afford to sit around and enjoy coffee anymore. And now people are being told they got to return to office. So that's really what's going on. So apparently they say that's why the CEO ordered 200,000 Sharpies as part of the turnaround plan. If anything, this is just good timing. And it's surviving attrition more than anything else, but they're already doing layoffs. I wonder how much in stock buybacks took place. Let's see. My throat is going wonky here. Let's see. In 2021, Starbucks pledged to spend more than $20 billion over 3 years on dividends and share buybacks. In 2022, announced plans to resume share buybacks, which would provide an annual EPS benefit of about 1%. But they've been paying dividends consistently for 58 consecutive quarters, according to the search results really quick. Yeah, I'm not sure how all share buybacks for Starbucks stock was 1.267 billion in 2024. So instead of paying people, they bought shares back. That concentrates wealth in the executive and shareholder suite. So yeah, your jobs left so that people could profit more. Hey, why give people jobs? Anyway, so I'm going to jump into the a coffee pot and brew myself back to the front page of ohmtown.com and call it a day, folks. This is probably one of the quickest shows that I have ever done. So saving time and letting you get back to your day, distilling the news, like so much filtering from a coffee maker. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I haven't had enough caffeine. That's it. I'm Mayor Watt. I'm saying bye. I'm taking the AI with me, but they're not even here. So bye.